Hey guys, I have a message I want to share with you that came in two parts, and it actually came in reverse. I received half of it yesterday and half of it the day before yesterday, and I didn't understand the full, I understood the message somewhat when it came in, but then when this message came in, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. So, yesterday when I was on my run, I got a download and a message that said there is a reroute in progress when it comes to, it felt like a timeline or something, that things are shifting here right now within the timeline. And so I kind of tuned in this morning to get more information on that. And in meditation, I started asking, I said, okay, what's the catalyst for this, or what exactly is rerouting? And I heard the global narrative. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so I said, okay, is this something that is a good thing, or is it like not so great? And so I kind of tuned in, and at first I felt in my body, I felt a lot of heart palpitations in my chest. And I was like, okay, this is like anxiety. This is a little bit of fear, but more anxiety, stress. But then all of a sudden my whole entire body went into total ease. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be freaked out about whatever this shift is, but someone is. And so, because it didn't feel like mine. So again, that doesn't necessarily mean that someone who is really caught up in everything isn't going to perceive this in a stressful way. But what I think is it may come across as a bit of a cluster, but deep down it's rerouting things. And so I kind of was like, okay, what's going on here? So it's like, show me, I need a vision. And so I saw this timeline in my mind and like a time fray coming off of it. And in my mind, I understood that this fray thought that it was going to be a runaway train. And it was like, it had its plan set. But what I'm seeing is that the fray is coming back into the original timeline, or I want to say a timeline that is, oh gosh, how do I say this? A timeline that serves humanity in a better way. Okay. And that the reason why there's a rerouting in progress is, now this is where the other message comes in. I heard, those that know how to play the game correctly know that the players don't matter. Mic drop. Okay, that's huge, because when so much of our focus goes on to the global narrative, the global stage, everything that's going on in our world, it's so easy to get caught up in other people, which means you're tuned into their vibration, and just by you focusing on them, you're giving them so much of your energy and power. But for those that know that the players don't really matter, and you've been able to take your focus off, like, let's just even say the global stage of what's been kind of transpiring, not in a sense of ducking your head in the sand, but knowing like, it's there, but you're not giving it too much of your energy. You've been reworking things, and now collectively, because there's been so many of us that have kind of, I want to say, woken up, all right, to the drastic measures that happen in the polarities. So when you get caught up in those extreme polarities, you cause a lot of push-pull energy. But ultimately, it's holding similar vibrations. And so together, even though you may be thinking you're on one side and the other group is on another side, you're ultimately holding the same vibration, which powers up the very essence of, let's just call it the global narrative, okay? Which doesn't really serve humanity to its best. It's really, meant to serve those who really want to be served. But here's the thing. When you understand the levels of consciousness and how power truly works, and this is where you understand the game, because we are working in a quantum field here. When you understand how the energetic field around you operates and how easily it's malleable and manipulated to whatever it is that you want to create. When you're, I want to say, more schooled human in the forces of energy and understanding how energy works and how important vibrations of love and joy and acceptance and peace are, you have the ability as one single person to shift the negative consciousness or destructive consciousness, which on a whole envelops fear, guilt, shame, apathy, okay, and a whole bunch of other ones. It encompasses all of that. You shift, if you're holding the vibration of love, sitting at the level of 500, you will shift 750,000 people. You will shift the negative vibration of that. You compensate for it. So you bring it into a state of neutrality. You as one person, okay? And so when you understand how that works and you start focusing on your own peace and you start focusing on your own inner work, facing the own shadows that are hiding within you, and you're going in there and you're lifting up rocks and you're going into the tunnels and you're going into the crevices of where most people don't ever want to go. Those of you that have been doing that and really putting focus on your own personal journey, your own individual journey here, and what it is that you came here to contribute as a soul, okay, as one individual, it is starting to reroute the timeline. The rerouting is in progress because of you. Now, there is some unexpected events, I understand, from what I'm seeing in my visions and also what I'm seeing astrologically in the next month or so happening. There are some unexpected events happening. I have heard expect the unexpected. And a lot of this is going to play out around the lunar eclipse in Taurus, which for those of you in my alchemy program, we're going into both eclipses this Sunday. I'm going to give you all of the details on that. For you guys on my YouTube channel, I will do a video for that eventually, just not right just yet. But the main thing that you should know is that there's a big shakeup happening, and basically almost all the planets are involved in this lunar eclipse, which is usually not the case. And a lot of them are all the personal planets are involved. So everyone's going to be feeling this eclipse dramatically. And I think there are going to be shifts from what I understand from the messages I've been getting, is that there are going to be some very unexpected shifts that surprise many. Now, how they happen, I feel like at first it's going to come across as, oh shit, but I think it's going to be an oh shit across the board. Like no one's escaping the oh shit. And so if that's happening, and that's why I felt like the heart palpitations, but then my body went into full total ease. And I think at the end of the day, going to start to see, once the dust starts to settle just even a little bit, that the view is going to become very clear and there's going to be a deeper understanding of what's happening. Now, if there's a rerouting in progress that serves better of humanity, I can only assume that whatever's coming down the pipeline is going to be helpful, although sometimes things that are helpful don't appear that way when they happen. So I just wanted to give you guys this message that for those of you, I want to say thank you so much for doing the work, for focusing on the very thing that you came here on this planet to do, which is your own individual journey first and foremost. If you're not focused on that, there's no way you can be of service to the collective. And the best way that you can serve is becoming the best version of yourself that you know how, and just modeling that out into the world. So I am going to be going into a channeling on the alchemy call this Sunday. I had a somatic breathwork class last night that opened up something for me, and I was met with a teacher that was very unexpected for me. So I'll be delivering that on Sunday for you guys on the call. Sorry, I had to stop that for a second. If you guys are interested in joining Alchemy and you want to be a part of it, links are in the description below to join our family. I am going to be talking about grief, loss, and the path of forgiveness as I was shown through the archetype of ashes. So I connected with the consciousness of ashes in my somatic breathwork class last night, and I had a massive shift in my own path to forgiveness, things that have been really hard for me to let go of. I've been trying to move through some of the anger and just, I don't know, resentment of certain things that did not come to pass. And last night I had a breakthrough, and I want to offer you guys what I've learned through that. So I'm going to be discussing all of that on Sunday's Alchemy call. It's a big one, guys. We have so much to go through. And I think that, you know, with everything coming up, we have a full moon in Aries on Sunday. And that's all about letting go. And there's a lot of healing energy with that because it's conjunct Chiron. But also, our solar eclipse in Scorpio is also about release. Even though it's a new moon, Scorpio and the South Node together create a massive purge. So there's a lot that's purging right now from us and being called to let go. So I feel like this call is going to be extremely timely for you guys. And I'm really excited about it. And again, I want to say, for those of you who are needing kind of just guidance or deeper understanding of what it is that you need to be focusing on right now to better your own journey, to stay in alignment with your, you know, your soul blueprint and the contracts that you came in here with, my new offering, soul alignment versus karmic release session has become extremely popular with you guys. I love that I'm getting just such incredible information for you, and you guys are giving me fantastic feedback from those of you who've had the session. So if you are looking for some guidance, just know that that's there available to book on my website as well. As we're coming into the eclipse season, it's a really good idea to just know what it is that, you know, you're needing to prep for, what it is that you're needing to let go, because there's a massive new cycle coming in here in really new ways that's kicking off, and it has to do with power. Scorpio rules power, and I think that given everything we've just gone through, you know, in the last couple of years, it's shaken the core of many of our own sense of personal power. And there's something around the release of giving your power away, abusive powers, that is really important, just even in your own personal journey, to also then be reflected into the collective, that I think is going to be assisting in this rerouting process that's in play. So that's my message for you guys. I hope it's helpful for you. Have an awesome weekend. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys real soon.